Who cries over onions? I mean, I understand getting teary, but sobbing over the fact that you can't eat onions. What is going on? In this week's Torah portion of Parshat Behaalotecha, we have one of the most incredibly complex and meaningful stories in the Bible. The Parsha opens up with the people complaining. Ha'asafsuf. They gather and they start complaining to Moses. They say, we're sick of eating this manna. Zacharnu et hadagim. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt, the cucumbers and watermelons and onions. And they start to cry. And you look at the story and you go, hold on a second. These people a year ago were in Egypt. They were not receiving free meals of beautiful sides of salmon, garnished with garlic and onions, topped off with watermelons. What is going on over here? And the rabbis say, you need to dig a little bit deeper into the story. It's not about the manna, and it's not about the onions. And the rabbis point out that what they were complaining about was the breakdown of their world. Their world was built on an Egyptian paradigm where licentiousness and opportunities to be sexually free were prevalent. Comes the Torah and teaches us in the Ten Commandments, lo tinaf. You cannot have an affair with a married woman. There are hilchot arayot. There are laws related to sexual immorality, who you can have as a partner. And they start to cry about that. That, says Rashi, reading through the words of the Midrash, is what was the underlying cause of their complaints. They cried about onions and fish, but what they really were complaining about was the anger towards the system that was now curtailing their sexual freedom. A mind-blowing understanding in what appears to be a very simple story. And so, explains the great sage of the 20th century, Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky. When you read through this story, and you read through other stories in the Bible, we need to realize that there are multiple layers in which to view the story. There are stories which we learn as children, but then we deep dive into them as adults, we find a whole new layer that suddenly appears before us. And so, what the Torah is teaching us is a fundamental principle, and that is, when you see people crying and complaining and demonstrating and anger, and you listen to what they have to say, the first question you have to ask, are they crying over onions or are they crying about something else? What exactly is their root cause of their complaint? The tragedy is, quite often, they don't even know. And that's the need to have an outsider that you can consult with, a guide, a Rabbi, a teacher, someone that you trust that can say to you, look, I understand that you're upset, but let's dive deeper to try and understand. Today we have psychologists who try to understand the root causes. But you don't need to have a psychologist. You just need to have someone on the outside that can give you a different perspective. I'd like to share with you a story. A few months ago, there was an opportunity to attend a rally. And I was thinking of going to this rally. My intentions were to be there to support the people. I chatted to my brother-in-law, and he says, don't go. I said, but why? He says, because you're going to support. But I guarantee you that the people that are going to be speaking at the rally are not there for the same reasons as you are. And I guarantee you that it's going to be transformed into something that you're going to be very uncomfortable to attend. So, the better half won, and I didn't go to the rally. I was upset because I really wanted to show support. But he was right. He understood better than I did. Because at that rally, comments were made which I would have been very uncomfortable with had I attended. And so, when you're hearing people crying and complaining, ask yourself the question, what is it at the root of this issue? Is it what they think, what they're shouting about? Or are they just crying over onions as an excuse for something more deeper, more dangerous, and more ugly? What a parsha. Cry over onions, something to think about. Shabbat Shalom. Hi, this is Rabbi Lewin. If you've enjoyed the content of the sermons and the ideas that have been expressed in the YouTube video, please hit that first subscription button and notification bell and share the videos with friends. We'd love to grow the channel and love to engage with you. Please share your comments in the section below. I'd love to hear from you. Have an amazing day.